I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
That did that.
What was it?
There was at least one black person that voted for it to get it back open.
But you got to think too.
Yeah.
How many millionaires are in Congress?
All of them.
That's what I'm saying. They don't want to lose that. They don't
Right.
want to lose those connections. They don't want to lose that. Oh, I'm writing a book, or I'm doing these TV appearances, or I'm shaking hands with this person,
Or that
and
access
I'll
to
look at this
or that
and
access to inside trading. Shout out to Nancy Pelosi. Yeah,
Right.
that part.
You know, and I've said it before too. Really, the whole government, the way it's set up, the Constitution is just a piece of paper, right? There's really, and we've seen there's really no way to enforce if the executive branch says I'm not doing that. And so this whole 250 years, it's just been on the honor system, on people playing, keeping it nice, So if we really want to get to where we want to go, that Constitution needs to be ripped up, and we need to start from scratch. And I mean, I've said it before, it's not a lot of appetite for that, but that's really what it'll take, because otherwise you're just trusting on corrupt humans to play fair. And as you get more money and more power as a nation, people are going to be corrupted. They're not going to be beholden to those old school traditional values, quote unquote.
and I think they're scared too. They're scared in the sense because you remember when Biden beat Trump, they was like, "Shit, we're ready to Capitol."
Mm-hmm.
They don't have no problem with resorting to violence. They never have.
No, never have.
They never have.
Never have.
They steal, kill, destroy. It's nothing for them to do that.
Whatever, yeah.
Nothing.
Just standard.
It's always,
but they called us the super predators.
Right. Not to go off on a tangent on this, but it makes me think of like what's going on in Iran right now, where they're like, they can never have what if they had a nuclear weapon? The only country that's ever used a nuclear atomic weapon, who was that? Can we guess who that was? The only country that's ever used one.
Literally us.
So yeah, they're scared. They think people are like they are, and if they have access to it, they'll use it on us or what have you. But yeah,
that's really what we worried about, retaliation.
Yeah, I mean, and before we go, I mean, I talked about some of the black political representatives. We talked about Tim Scott. What's that one dude down in Florida? Got the little goofy ass
Byron Daniels or something. Byron Davids or
something like that. It ain't worth knowing his name. Sellout. But the biggest sellout in American history, Black American history. Take one guess who that is.
The Justice.
Clarence Thomas.
I knew, yeah, exactly.
I don't see how he sleeps with himself. I don't see how he sleeps. I don't see how he sleeps.
He's a demon.
I don't see how he sleeps.
Just fine.
He probably don't sleep.
You literally are a man without a country. You think these folks really care about you? You are a tool. And I remember seeing how they were trying to say, "Oh, he doesn't have a big enough display in the Smithsonian African American History Museum. He shouldn't even be in there. He should be a footnote. He should be
that footnote should read mistakes were made.
He should be in one of those displays, where they talk about, okay, like listen, like where they like big people, they give them like a big old display, but then they have like a little small display where they talk about 8 or 9 different people. He should be at the bottom in the corner. That's what he should be.
And you have an asterisk too. Yeah.
I was just about to say an asterisk. So some mistakes were made.
How self-hating, self-loathing do you have to be?
He keeps showing us.
Yeah.
And the problem is, like you said, he got to stick around because if he don't stick around, they could put somebody who's probably even more weak and more crazy than him.
And
And on
younger.
That's
and,
going to
tw-
be
and
young
25 years
and much
younger.
younger and much
25
younger
years younger. Yeah.
and much younger, you know, to make to keep this thing going, you know.
Mhm.
And and I was mistaken, Justice Roberts. I was misinformed into thinking that he was one of the more reasonable justices. And listen, one thing
Yeah.
about me, I admit when I'm wrong. Other
Mhm.
folks don't like to do that, but I will. I was misinformed. He has been the architect of dismantling the Voting Rights Act. He's been the
Mhm.
puppet master this whole time,
Mhm.
you know? And it would be nice if the Democrats say, "Hey, listen, man," because I remember back in the past when they had the House and the Senate and they had Barack in office, and they was like, "Hey, man, push all this stuff through. Like we could change. Like you don't have to have 60 votes in the House. You know what I'm saying? Just make it a simple majority. Push this stuff through."
Yep.
And it was like, "Man, we can't do that, man, because when the Republicans get it, then they can do what they want to do." Well, you see what they doing.
Want to do what
Period.
they want to do regardless, right?
Always.
You see what they doing, So yeah, it's time for y'all to get some nuts, man. And I think, to your point, Arika, we got to go back to the Panthers, where you had, Fred Hampton, where they were coming out and they were, hey, listen, in order for you to be a part of the movement, in order for you to be a part of what we're doing in the community, you have to participate in these classes. You have to learn about how the government works, how politics works on a local level, on a state level. You have to learn that. And we have to be able to have people who we can trust, who the community trusts to be able to educate them onto why this matters. And it can't be folks on YouTube, even though we on YouTube, but it can't be folks on YouTube, Instagram, social media. It has to be people who are there who can pass the message along.
Yeah, I have an initiative that I'm working on with my nephew, and I was talking to one of my judge friends about it yesterday, and she was like, I would love to be a part of it. And it hadn't even occurred to me to include judges, but her perspective was that she's a public servant. She has to get elected to hold that position. So it's like important for her to motivate people to vote because she needs votes to maintain her position there. And I hadn't really thought about it from that perspective. I always thought about it from the perspective of my clients who come into court and they're like, well, all the judges are white. Well, did you vote? Well, this prosecutor is tough on this. Did you vote? I'm like, so these things matter, but if people don't understand how these things matter and how these things impact them, then they're not informed. And so I really just want to take it back to informing people so they can make a decision. You don't have to make the same decision as me, but you need to make an informed decision so you can understand, comprehend how important your vote actually is to your everyday life.
Yeah.
Just simple everyday people who are making decisions that impact what's happening to you or even just know what their job is, like aldermen and stuff.
Yeah. You're right.
So, I mean, but if we don't educate them, then we're just telling them what to do. And I think that's contributing to the apathy. So that's the part that I'm trying to confront is to focus on the education part so that people can be excited about advocating for themselves through the political system. Because it's right now, people just feel hopeless. And I don't know how else to restore hope without restoring education. And I think we definitely need to take control of educating our young people like we had done in the past. We relegated that power to the white people in the white schools, and this is where we've gotten. So we need to take that back.
And hey, listen, I can't say it any better than you, but that's why when I said there's a system and a plan, that's why they target the schools.
Mhm.
And you think that they target the schools. That's why they went after music in the schools. Because they said, hey,
Mhm.
look at all these black geniuses who were able to build wealth, and maybe 1 out of 10 of them may have been committed to the community and use what they have gained to give back. So we could target the music in the schools, and we could target the education. They are looking. We talked about Mizzou, where we all went to. They look. Listen, all these future politicians, lawyers, doctors, people that have influence are being trained in this Black student government. Let's target that. They are systematic and diabolical about what they want to do to punish Black people. And never forget, it's Black people who they are targeting. So with that, I think we talked about it enough. Make sure you go to our website, www.manlistenshow.com, listen to past episodes. Go to YouTube, click that bell icon, and make sure you tell everybody about the show. We'll catch you next time. Peace. Shout out to C.
Yay, see, we miss you.